Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, welcome to the 97 Republic YouTube channel, where we react to news and live events pertaining to different sporting codes. So I kindly ask that you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as that would really help this channel grow. And to ensure you don't skip a beat, click the notification bell as well. That way you can guarantee that you don't miss any of the action. Alright? So let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, my instant reaction to UFC 311, the main card. Now before I start, I I just want to state my eyes are as heavy as Derek Lewis right now. Watching a UFC event live on a European timeline definitely slaps a little bit different. But I don't want to make any excuses. I love it. It was an incredible card. So let's go. So starting off the card, I went 0 for 1. And to be quite honest, I usually tend to do it that way because when you start with the disappointment, you are promised to only go up from there. You set the standard realistically. So in the first fight, Renier beating Kevin Holland. I predicted Kevin to win, and the reason being is I didn't see Renier being able to take Kevin down that easily, and I thought with Kevin's jiu-jitsu, he would be able to not get submitted by Renier. And Kevin even mentioned himself, he would be surprised if he got submitted by Renier. Well, surprise. I genuinely think Kevin should stay at welterweight, and the reason being is the guys in middleweight, they're just bigger, they're stronger, and if they want to wrestle, you should be able to withstand their wrestling and to ensure that you don't get taken down at will. Because if this fight played out on the feet, which I thought the majority of the fight it would, different conversation, different result. But then we moved on to the next fight, where Jelton Almeida faced Sergey Spivak. Now, as I predicted, it somewhat happened. I went 1-1. I said Jelton would win. I said he would wear him down, and in the second round, he would submit him. Now, it wasn't all smooth sailing at first. Right? Jelton went through some adversity. Now, Sergey basically taking him down, but then Almeida was able to get a transition where he finished on top, they stood up, and then Jelton just started blasting, and he knocked Sergey out. So I knew that was a lock. I knew the one would be there. And then the third fight happened. Now Yeri facing Jamal, as advertised, an incredible fight. Knowing that the judges will not see this fight. They could have stayed in the dressing room and maybe helped massages for Umar Marable, but they would not be involved. And when seeing two prolific strikers, especially in a high weight class, you know you're in for an absolute treat. You know that someone is gonna get a power nap inside of the octagon. And I picked Jamal to win. Now my reasoning behind it is because Yeri, his head movement is not that good, and he is susceptible to eating some punches. And I thought, well, Jamal has a lot of power. Yeri is susceptible to getting hit, and Jamal would knock Yeri out. And yeah, I was wrong. But watching a Yeri fight, it is incredible. It is like watching one of these old westerns where you just see shit flying in the background. There's a lot of violence. Nothing makes sense. And it looks unrealistic, but you know that it's happening right in front of your eyes. It is incredible. And I think the standout thing with regards to both men, first off, Yeri's head movement was incredible. At particular times in the fight, it looked like he was in the Matrix. I've never seen Yeri slip that much, well, that many punches in my life. And with regards to Jamal, extremely resilient. He got knocked down in the first round. He got knocked down twice in the third round. Continued to stand up. Incredible respect for Jamal. Right, a lot of resiliency shown by Jamal. And as this fight played out, and as Yuri won by a knockout, I remember thinking, how much power does Alex Pereira have? Because these men ate a lot of shots, clean, flush shots, and they didn't against Alex. So how much power does Alex have in those big ass iron fist things to be able to knock these men out in what seemed to be an effortless fashion, where these guys were slugging it out, uh, throwing a lot of power in those punches, and weren't able to knock each other out clean. So that played in my head while watching the fight. But then Yeri won, an incredible knockout by Yeri, incredible resiliency shown by Jamal, just an absolute incredible fight. And then we moved on to the co-main event, where the main topic of discussion was it was basically Umar's technical striking ability and Merab's pressure. If Umar was able to withstand Merab's pressure, he would win due to the fact that technically he's just such a good striker and would be a massive threat for Merab. And watching bantamweights fight, you know that the first round will look exactly like the first. Right? These guys just don't really get tired, and that pace they maintain that pace throughout the entire fight. So it's like every weight division has its perks. Where with the biggies, you're gonna see people sleeping. Where with the little guys, you're gonna see faster shit than you can imagine, and you're gonna see a pace being sustained for 5 rounds. And yeah, Marab was just relentless, undeniable, and there's nothing that Umar could have done differently. I think if Umar heals up, because it was reported that he broke his hand, if Umar heals up and he has the best fight camp he's ever had, I don't think he'd be able to withstand Marab's pressure. No, I picked Umar to win this fight. I was wrong. Like we've previously established, I was wrong a few times within this card. But I thought, if you need wrestling defense being taught to you and coached to you, Habib would probably be the best guy to get it from. But there's only so much you can do that your body would allow you to do. Umar looked great in the first 2 rounds. I personally thought he won the first 2 rounds, and then Marab just took over the fight. Now, I'm not saying this happened. I'm not saying that this reasoning behind what I'm gonna say makes sense and actually materialized. But it felt like Marab intentionally lost the first round. And I know no fighter, no sane fighter would ever intentionally lose the first round of a title fight. But it looked like Marab wanted to showcase that whenever he wants to dominate, he will dominate. And there's not a damn thing anybody could do about it. With the taunting antics and throwing Umar around and talking to John Anik and Joe Rogan, it felt like whenever he wanted to take this seriously, he would treat Umar like a kid and just you know destroy him. Whatever Marab wanted to do, he did it, and Umar couldn't stop it. Marab would shoot for takedowns, not to execute a takedown, but just to have you defend it, just so you can tire yourself out, just so that you can basically feel the pressure. And are you gonna sink or are you gonna swim? We haven't seen people swimming yet. He's basically had this blueprint for the entirety of the bantamweight division. where he showcased that he will wrestle, he will put a lot of pressure on you, and he will sustain an incredible pace for 5 rounds. Nobody can do anything about it. If you are not a better wrestler than Marab, you will not beat Marab. You won't even touch him. And yeah, we just saw it be evident with Umar, where Umar did really good round one, but it felt like Marab was fighting Umar's fight. Just to just to say, hey, I'll fight your fight. Show me everything you have. Okay, not much. Not a big threat. Now we're gonna fight my fight. I'll win. So all in all, I mean, Marab is it makes sense. It makes sense that his surname is the Machine. Completely understand. And I think he broke a record, and he is adding on his record where he has 11 consecutive bantamweight bantamweight wins, which is a record. So yeah, good luck. Good luck trying to stop him. They might make it a fair fight. Throw throw two guys at him at the same time. That will probably even out the pressure. Because I don't think there's a bantamweight in the planet that will be able to withstand Moral's pressure. And then we moved on to the main event. To no one's surprise, it played out the way it played out. Now I had Islam winning because you have to be lobotomized if you thought that Renato stood a chance. Now, with all due respect to Renato, I don't think he's a bum, and I don't think he stinks. I'm just saying that when you take a guy who is talented, who is a good fighter, but you know, he hasn't either is not at his prime yet, or he just isn't as good yet, or hasn't found himself completely, and you put that fight against arguably the best lightweight of all time, the result is inevitable. This is what we expected. Now, it was interesting seeing Renato strike with Islam. And I initially thought that it was a knockdown, but then later on I saw it was a slip. But as soon as I saw that exchange, I started counting down because I knew Islam was gonna take Renato down and try and finish the fight. And then you saw Renato almost kick Islam away, almost standing up. And as soon as Islam locked in that DOS, I knew it was over. Right? That guy's incredibly strong, right? He looks chiseled, like somebody built him out of clay. He is incredibly strong. He has incredibly good technique. And there's no way that you get out of that DOS. So as soon as he locked it up, I knew, all right, this is done. And just Islam doing Islam things. That's why there's no fighter inside of the lightweight division, apart from Arman, who can beat Islam now. Because the majority of the lightweight division consists of strikers. And we see what Islam do against strikers. As soon as Islam feels like he doesn't have the advantage on the feet, he will try and take you down. Now, if he succeeds, you are doomed. And there's nothing you can do about it. We saw Islam do it with Drew Dober. We saw Islam do it with Dan Hooker, Bobby Green. Even saw him do it with Dustin as well, where as soon as he starts feeling uncomfortable on the feet, he'll just take you down. And good luck surviving. Apart from Arman, who I feel is like for like the the, the most like Islam, um, I don't see anyone else being any sort of competition for him. Now, what an honor to be seeing Islam do his thing, to be witnessing the spectacle that he puts on, just absolutely dominating whoever he wants to. And they basically alluded to the fact that Islam might move up to welterweight and become double champ. But if we saw Islam versus Ilya Tuporia at 145, I would be so locked in. I would not blink for 30 minutes. and I might even forget to breathe as well. I would be fixated on my television, like nothing you've ever seen before, because I do think that Ilya is a threat. Ilya is a threat to anyone from 125 to 155, without a doubt. But if Islam had to make 145, he'd probably have to cut off one of his limbs. I just don't see Islam making it again. Now he started off as a 145er, but as you get older, cutting weight gets more difficult. It's just not the same. So we'll need Ilya to move up, to go to lightweight and face Islam. But that fight would be one for the ages. But yeah, if Islam wanted to move up to welterweight, who'd stop him? Halal? No. There's no one in the welterweight division that would stop Islam. He's just that good. Maybe Shafkat Rakhmonov, maybe, but Shafkat has to beat Bilal, and Bilal's an incredibly good wrestler. So that would nullify Shafkat's wrestling. So, but Islam, his striking, his wrestling, every single thing about him, his conditioning, the fact that he's absolutely yoked, just besides from Omar, just can't see him lose to anyone in the lightweight division. And yeah, what a record! Fifth title fight, winning title fight for Islam, breaking the record. No lightweight has ever done it, and there's been some. There has been some incredible lightweights. So yeah, Islam being the first one, just we've seen this guy dominate for 10 years now. He deserves every single bit of respect that he gets, and then some. So all in all, an incredible card. Just great fights wherever we looked. From the prelims, it started all the way through till the main event. Just an absolutely incredible card. Man, I might go sleep now.